And my colleague, Christian Yale, has been interacting with some young people, both at the tertiary level and those who have just completed a tertiary education as well. And they have expectations and a message for the president-elect, John Dramani Mahama. Christian, talk to us. What have they been telling you?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So, John Dramani Mahama, Ghana's president-elect, is seeking to reset the country with the energy and drive of young people at the forefront. He is seeking to create millions of jobs to address the skyrocketing unemployment rate. Now, this is going to be done through policies such as the 24-hour economy, through the coding policy that is going to train over 1 million youth in coding. Mind you, John Dramani Mahama in the NDC manifesto is also targeting some 300,000 plus jobs in ICT. And we are asking really, what are the expectations of the youth in all of this? What are they expecting the president and the next NDC administration to do? And so we are here at the University of Ghana to engage some students and some youth. Some may have completed school already, some are still in school and are in their final year and would very soon exit from this campus to get their own understanding and what they expect really of the next NDC administration. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm very happy to have all of you here to have this, all-important conversation. Let me start with you, really. What are your expectations of the next government?
All right, and thank you so very much for this opportunity. I think it's very worth noting that the people of Ghana have decisively given His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government a win that we've never seen, unprecedented. That shows how the people of Ghana have trust in their policies, in their manifesto, and what have you. So, going forward, our expectations are just simple. I mean, these promises that have been made, especially targeted at the youth, and when you look at the 120, social contract that they've been brought out.
Yeah, the first 120 days social contract.
Exactly. You can see that most of the policies that they tend to roll out will not require much effort. So, we are looking at, the betting tax should go. We are looking at the e-levy going. We are looking at just these simple policies rolling out of the free, tuition fee for the level 100s. Looking at, cutting down government expenditure, the 60 ministers. Looking at also starting investigation into, the previous government appointees who have squandered, public funds and what have you. Also looking at the economic 24-hour economic policy, rolling out the framework and what have you. So these are things that we expect that once His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is sworn in on the 7th of January, should kickstart fast. These ones we don't require what do you call it, much effort in terms of maybe saying revenue and what have you.
But you'd reckon that these things are not easily going to be done. We have a country that has, high debt levels as of now. And when earlier we spoke to the former finance minister, Seth Tekpe, for instance, who acknowledges the fact that these are real challenges that must be tackled and are not going to be easy. So on what basis do you feel like these are some easy things that could be done on a rosy platter?
Right. So, these policies and manifestos were not just, magically written or what have you. These are thoughts brain people who have sat down, taking even cognizance of the fact that the economy has been messed up. We are in an IMF economy. We have in doing debt restructuring program and what have you. These NDC framers of this manifesto have taken cognizance of those things, yet have seen that we can still implement some of these.
So in all of these, my question to you then would be that how do all of these things that you talk about reflect in your own life? How do you expect them to translate into improving your own life?
Right. As a university student, I have so many basic things I can talk about. My accommodation issue. Looking at going to partner with universities to be able to build hostels around. Looking at the free, tuition fee for the level 100s coming in. Perhaps I may not benefit because maybe I'm just in my level final year, but maybe our brothers that are coming, our juniors will benefit. And when they benefit, it also helps all of us, as a nation and what have you. So I don't know, these policies directly will affect us in one way or the other. If e-levy is removed as a university student, I can feel free to send 100 cedis to a friend who is in need without being told that sending 100 cedis means I am rich and what have you.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, but let me quickly go to get the thoughts of your colleagues as well. You've heard your colleague mention some of the things that he's looking forward to. What are your own expectations?
Well, I could say to whom much is given, much is expected. And we've seen this before. This is not first time seeing President Mahama come into power. And actually in 2012, in his manifesto, out of 280 promises he made, he fulfilled just 77 out of them. So that's
how did you rate that? How were you able to come by that?
So it's a 28% commitment that he can fulfill or work according to what he has said. So we are just around watching and expecting much from him, because I'm a final year student and I'm expecting much right after here, my national service and the work out there and all that. So as a president, we expect much from you. And the whole thing is that from pre-pandemic era, the growth of this Ghanaian economy, as at now, it has been very booming. So as a president, or quote unquote, as an experienced driver, you are having that platform, that smooth platform that you can work and work well for the benefit of.
You say the economy is booming?
Oh yes, there are indicators out there in terms of agriculture, industrialization. I mean, all the sectors of the economy, they are booming. So from
would you say we are out of the woods?
Oh, no, because see, in 2019, Ghana was the fastest growing economy until the COVID-19 struck us and all that. So from now, the economy, as said by President Akufo-Addo, that they cannot bring dead people, but when the economy is dead, or they can only survive or bring back an economy. So that is it. So we are just expecting much from him. And on a more serious note too, as an experienced driver, we need no excuses, we need no complaints and all that, because we believe, Ghanaians believed in you. That's why they gave you the nod to come and lead us. So right now, all sectors are smooth and all that. So it's incumbent on him to level on that and ensure that we get to where Ghana wants to be. So that is it.
That is it. I'll come back to you. Interesting thought. But let me engage your colleague here. And I saw him, looking at you intermittently when you were making those submissions. I don't know if he agrees with you on those same parts or has, dissenting views. But what do you have to say? John Dramani Mahama is elected on January 7th. He is sworn in. He takes over the reins of the country. What are your expectations?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and a very good evening to our viewers. I am expecting, just like my brother said, to whom much is given, much is expected. And he has made a promise to Ghanaians and even the youth. For the very first time, I think the first political party who has come out with a youth manifesto, aside its main manifesto, and it's named it the Pledge. So it means it's making a pledge to the youth of Ghana. And also, this makes me believe in the saying that for any nation to build and to become a great nation, they need the energy of the youth and the wisdom of the elderly. And this is what John Dramani Mahama has promised the youth, and in his manifesto, saying that he's going to make the youth the energy, the driving force of our economy and the development of the nation. So I am expecting much, and the promises that he has made, one thing that I'm looking out for is the scrapping of some taxes on some goods. For instance, the sanitary parts. Our dear sisters out there who did not ask God that they want to have their period or menstrual cycle are now paying luxurious taxes for the purchase of sanitary pads, which we all know luxury is for rich people. How is sanitary pad a luxury? And if John Dramani Mahama has promised to take that off, I am very happy, and also to bring back that free sanitary pad for secondary school ladies or female students. It is a very, very commendable thing. And one thing that I'm also looking out for is the restructuring of the free SHS policy, which we really need to restructure it and make it better for us. And he has also promised the TVET and the National Artisan or Apprenticeship Program. You see, everybody needs to get education. Everybody needs to get educated. Yes, that is very, very acceptable. And looking at our basic education student, the GHS student, most of them who are transitioning to SHS, their results are not encouraging. That does not mean that the person's result is not encouraging, so the person is not intelligent. Intelligence comes in different forms and different ways. There are people who are book smart. There are people who are talented talented, and these talents like footballers and players, for instance, their IQ in football and the sports that they are doing is very, very high. And instead of government spending money on them in education, why don't we spend money on them in training and developing their skills?
Okay.
And John Dramani Mahama and the NDC have promised this, and I believe it is going to work, and it's going to benefit all of us as a whole.
Thank you. Thank you for those thoughts as well. And I'll still get your initial reactions to my question. And then after that, I will throw a general question to all of you. Whoever wants to take the first bite, then you do. The same question to you. What are you looking forward to in the next government? Because it looks like people have high hopes of the next NDC administration. Do you have same?
Yes, I believe strongly that the government of the day, being elected a new government and will come into force come 7th January, has promised Ghanaians the 24-hour economy. For us, I am in level 4 and we're looking forward that after school and after national service, I get employed to a job or I get into the field of entrepreneurship. But first and foremost, with the job aspect, I expect that since the 24-hour economy is going to be introduced by government, it means a job that takes just one person now takes 2 additional persons, because they are now going to run 3 shifts. So 2 additional people come onto the job scene. So it gives us the youth the opportunity to come onto these fields and learn from experienced people, so that in future when their tenure gets expired, as they go into retirement and other things, we are now the new owners, or we are now managing those job sectors. So it's a great policy, and that's my favorite part of it all. And other policies such as which will help our parents and our brothers and sisters who are into the importation businesses. They don't work under the government. Yeah. That's importing of salvage vehicles and other products. I know the current administration has slapped enormous taxes onto the importation of salvage vehicles, in which the NDC has promised that they are going to scrap those taxes. So I'm looking forward for government to amend those laws, importation laws, and then to deal with that perfectly.
Great stuff. How about you?
Generally, I believe that John Dramani Mahama himself would clearly understand that Ghanaians are actually expecting a lot from him. Personally, I've always believed that this government or the government of the day have made significant strides in whichever sector of this country, being it education, industrialization, and everything. So I've always said that the only reasonable conclusion for our country now should not necessarily be that we are resetting, but actually we should improve of the things that have been done. Because when you go to social media now, when you go to, X, when you go to Instagram and everything, people are asking, what is the future of STEM? What is the future of our health sector, where now every district has or is going to have a hospital? Ghanaians are asking the future of all these things, because that's what I've said. The reasonable conclusion for our country now is for us to be able to upgrade on these things. Because if you have a country where now every district is having an industry and a hospital, you cannot reset all these things than to upgrade on them. We are now preaching industrialization, but still we are still an import-driven economy. So obviously people are expecting the government of the day or the government that is coming to be able to improve and build more factories. People are expecting a lot of jobs. The government of the day has said that they've created over 2 million jobs, but still people are unemployed. So it gets to tell you that people are still looking out for jobs. People are still expecting, much from this government. So I believe that they should be able to improve on the things that have been done so far, so that we wouldn't retrogress. Because when you go around campus and everything, the reason why people, or the reason there is apathy among people, is that they believe that when we progress for a little as a country, then we progress in no time. So I believe that as at now, we should be able to improve on the things that have been done, in addition to the things that we want to bring on board. Yeah.
Maybe my very quick question to all of you, and then you have like just 30 seconds bite on it, would be
Well, that's Christian Yale there, and look, he's still there with the people, talking to them, the young people, expectations of President-elect John Dramani Mahama. And these are sentiments we're going to be gauging in the next 2-3 weeks ahead of us here on your Election Command Center. This is Ghana Decides.